It's the 2018 3C2A Men's Volleyball Championship live on SoCalCollegeSports.com, 5 p.m. It'll be Long Beach City and LA Pierce. And the nightcap will be defending state champion Orange Coast College Pirates taking on Irvine Valley. Join myself, Mike Zepeda, Jeff Stoynoff, Matt Henson, the entire crew here at SoCalCollegeSports.com, starting shortly before 5.
Spread the word, everybody, as we draw closer to the beginning of Game 1 of the State Volleyball Men's Championship. All of our broadcasts can be watched on our website at www.socalcollegesports.com or our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1. And if you have a shout out you'd like us to get on the air for you, whether it be for your favorite team or player, tweet that to us at SoCal College SPO, S-P-O, and we'll get that on the air for you. 33 minutes till game time. Back in a moment.
It's the 2018 3C2A Volleyball Championships here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Long Beach City, LA Pierce set to duke it up here at 5 p.m. Join myself, Mike Cepeda, Jeff Stoyanov, coming out with you with a little bit of a pregame show in just a bit here. Stay tuned. We are live from the Hornets' Nest on the campus of Fullerton College. Mike Cepeda, Jeff Stoyanov with you on SoCalCollegeSports.com's coverage, the 2018 3C2A Men's Volleyball Championship. Jeffrey, it's Goliath in Game 1. Long Beach City undefeated on the season. They come in 20-0, and LA Pierce thinking upset.
Yeah, we were joking about it a little bit beforehand that with the Men's Volleyball Championship here from Fullerton, we don't have Cinderella here. The top 4 seeds in the bracket make it here to the semifinals, so no big surprises there. But we do indeed have Goliath, an undefeated Long Beach City College. LA Pierce has played Long Beach twice this season. They've yet to win a set. They've gone down in straight sets 2 times in a row. But as Coach Lance Walker said when asked about it a little bit earlier this week after they advanced here, it's hard to beat the same team 3 times in a row, and I think they're banking on that. They'd like to extend this if they can, get this into a 4th, ideally a 5th set. The deeper they can go, the better off they'll be. Their thinking is this is a team that hasn't lost all year, a team that hasn't had as much adversity to deal with this year. If we can extend it first, then maybe we can get them a little bit rattled and see if we can steal one here and get to the finals.
Yeah, for LA Pierce, it's really going to come down to the play of their setter and team captain, Bernardo Roez. He's a Brazilian kid. He can get up, but you know, you got to watch for him at the net. When he's in the front row, he can utilize his setter dump. He does a really good job of setting up his teammates, putting them in good spots. And they're going to have their hands full. Will Long Beach. Jason Moore is an absolutely electric opposite who's going to wreak havoc on the net. Expect him to be a name to watch here today. For Long Beach City, you have Steven Roeder, and then you have Andrew Pearson. Pearson played on the state championship team 2 years ago. He's transitioned from outside hitter to middle. That transition not always easy. In talking with Coach Jonathan Charette before the game, he hadn't trained as a middle blocker his entire life until this last November. Oh, how is he doing at that? He's only leading the state in kill percentage on the season. So that'll tell you about his volleyball prowess and his ability to make his team a lot more versatile than it was. When you think about an outside hitter transitioning to a middle blocker, middle blockers don't normally have that type of control as a hitter, but he's able to utilize that tactic, and he served very well for Long Beach City.
Yeah, I think one other thing for Long Beach that really figures to be an advantage in this matchup, they're a little bit deeper. They go a little bit more depth. They can get good attacks from all over the court, and they have no shortage of strong hitters. You mentioned a couple already, but obviously keep in mind Roeder, and we haven't even really gotten to the guy I think who's the big matchup problem so far for Pierce this season, and that's Andrew Pearson, who's had a couple of great outings as well. And so they have to find a way to deal with him. But Jonathan Charrette's got a lot of ways he can go with this, and we'll see if Pierce can maybe reverse the tide here and see if they can pull the upset in matchup number 3 between these two teams.
We've had a lot of conversations this week about Long Beach City. I was told by one coach they're a team that does everything well. They do nothing great. They're 20-0. They have probably one of the best coaches in the state in Jonathan Charrette. We saw him 2 years ago. Quick aside, talk about 2 years ago in a game in the semifinal match versus Golden West. They were almost down and out in that game, and then he inserted Charles Belvin into the matchup. That name sounds familiar and it looks familiar. It's because Charles Belvin is in the building. An electric left-handed arm that he had at his disposal. He inserts him into that matchup. They go on, force 5, win in 5, win the state championship that year. But his ability to go to the bench, make adjustments on the fly, really separates Coach Charrette from his peers. And look for him to have to make an adjustment early, because I know that Coach Lance Walker for LA Pierce has a couple tricks up his sleeve.
Yeah, 20-0 on the season for Long Beach City College. I can think of one thing they do great: win.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But hey, LA Pierce, no slouch themselves.
Yeah, that's
and they
true.
will have a chance to spring the upset coming up in about 5 minutes here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. It's a 2018 Men's Volleyball Championship. Stay tuned, everybody.
moments away from set number 1, semifinal number 1, the 2018 3C2A Men's Volleyball Championships here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Jeff Stoynoff, Mike Cepeda, the entire SoCalCollegeSports.com team here with you with complete coverage of the semifinals tonight and, of course, the final on Saturday night. You can find it here on SoCalCollegeSports.com, or you can search YouTube, SoCal College Sports 1. Takes you to our channel, and you can follow all of the action here from Fullerton College this weekend, and indeed all spring, Michael. We got a busy month ahead of us here as well with the softball and baseball championships coming up as well.
Yeah, the YouTube app, so choice. If you have an opportunity, I highly recommend downloading it. Yeah, you're exactly right.
If you
here,
have
Jeff.
an app store, and I'll bet you do.
Covering softball coming up in May, and then follow the very next week, baseball up in Fresno. Mount Sac, the new venue along with Citrus this year for softball. Very excited about that, and happy that the 3C2A has chosen us to bring that to you live, all potentially 15 matches in that one.
As they continue to introduce both teams. Less than a minute to go here before we get going. Long Beach City College in the black jerseys. They will start out working left to right. Meanwhile, the LA Pierce Brahma Bulls come out in the red shirts. They'll work it from right to left. Top seed Long Beach City College against the 4 seed LA Pierce, but an awful lot of championship pedigree down through the years in these 4 teams. Irvine Valley, multiple championships. Orange Coast, 2 championships in the last 4 years, including last year. LA Pierce, 7 championships historically for this team, including 4 in a row from 2000 to 2003. And then, of course, Long Beach City College, just 5 championships since 2004. So we're really getting the representatives here throughout the 3C2A's history here in men's volleyball.
It's like the quote in Rounders. Why do you see the same 5 guys at the final table every year? Well, why do you think we see the same teams here up at the Final Four?
What are these, the luckiest teams in men's volleyball?
I don't think so, Jeffrey. We just have some outstanding coaches, and Coach Charette, Lance Walker, Coach Pestalacy, and, of course, Travis Turner for OCC. And Pesto looking for the clean sweep. The women won it in this school year back in December, and now the men looking to, well, completely hold the championship cup for volleyball in the entirety of the sport. Not for indoor anyway. I know the beach has made some strides, and we're looking to cover beach possibly next year, something that we are trying to put in the works. Who
doesn't want to be outside at the beach
working? I know I don't, because I don't tan very well. Probably better than you, though. No offense.
No, none taken.
About set and ready to go. You may have just heard the name Stephen Roeder, MVP in the Western State South. A player to watch here tonight for Long Beach. Number 2. We talked about Andrew Pearson, his ability to hit in the middle, but transition from an outside hitter. You'll see a lot more control up front as a middle blocker for Andrew. He's very lightning quick in terms of getting up off the floor and determining his reads. Remy Porat, along with Victor Villarreal, Andrew Pearson, Stephen Roeder, Steven Morales, the libero.
Pearson will start off in the back row, but he's one of the leading killers for this Long Beach City College team, and really, as much as anything, a jack of all trades for the Vikings, among the leaders in digs as well for this team, so he plays well off the back row.
Yeah, talked about leading the team. He leads the state in killing percentage. Gives you an idea of his hitting prowess. In years past, Long Beach so versatile. They've shown an ability to hit the BIC when they need to, when they're out of system. And we'll see if that plays here tonight with the middles in play for LA Pierce. Very strong in the middle are the Brahmas.
Pierce to serve. They'll start with Blake Omardian. Kept alive and sent over. Another attack for the Vikings coming from the far side, off the block. Roeder tries to dink it over, but it's kept alive. In the middle, and it's Norkus hammering it down for the Brahmas.
Norcus, freshman middle blocker, is a bounce back from Pepperdine, and Coach Lance Skywalker, as they like to call him back in the day, very excited about that young man's career.
Just long for Omartian.
Good judgment there on the back row, letting that sail.
Well, we're talking a little bit to Lance Walker before the matchup. His key for his team, they have to hold serve. They have to hold even in terms of side outs and then get some runs on their own serve. Sent over softly. An easy dig. That one just long. They went back to Porat. Porat trying to work it around the block. But a little too much air. And now Norcus will serve.
Wow.
And that one catches the line.
Matt, can we see a replay there? I thought that was wide. Porat had a pretty good view of it. See the replay here. Oh, that's right on the line, Stoy.
Quickly transitioning back to Porat. And that time he goes up the line. 3-2, Vikings back within one. Porat, trouble on the pass, but they get it over. And now the Vikings will go to work. Roeder off the block. Beautiful dig. Vikings back on the attack. Roeder.
Into the antenna. Point for LA Pierce.
So Pierce gets the side out as Roeder tries to go up the line. And it's 4-2. Patuov will serve for the Brahmas. They keep it in the middle, another big block.
Yeah, it's something you don't want to do. You don't want to keep it in the middle. You need to make those middles move. Get them outside, and L.A. Pierce rolling here early, 5-2.
Che and Wadlow on the block of Villarreal, and it's 5-2, and this is exactly how you dial it up. If you're Pierce, the one-timer, and it's Che with his first kill. 6-2, a little trouble on the pass. A good run on serve developing for Patuov. He's won a couple in a row. He's got another one coming. And the Brahmas have the 6-2 lead. Still looking for their first set victory here in matchup number 3 between these two teams. Dugout, Wadlow. Che hanging in the air, and a little too much air on that one. Over the end line, and it's 6-3. The side out gives it back to the Vikings.
I got to tell you, early on in watching these two teams match up, LA Pierce a little bit more firepower. Really like how they look early on, and Che, Jeff, you talked about in the pregame, he's one of the big hitters for LA Pierce. Expect him to they're going to need him to have a big game.
Sanchez on the serve.
Oh.
And Che with the finish. Boy, that all starts with an excellent pass from Grogan in the back row. And the quick side out, and this is exactly what you want if you're the Brahmas. The Vikings unable to get any kind of serve run going so far.
And Roaz, a lot of credit to him on that set there, really setting up Che in a position to succeed. Bernardo.
The floater. Again, they keep it in the middle, kept alive. Terrific job by Che. Off the block. Dinked over. Here come the Vikings. Roeder takes a little something off. Kessler off the block of Roeder.
Pierce bringing the fire early.
Well, we talked about the undefeated record, but keep in mind, 8 in a row for L.A. Pierce. This was a team that at one point this season was 4-6.
Yeah.
So maybe an entirely different team.
Free ball.
Bernardo, they go to the slide. Che has that one sent back. 50-50 ball sent over. Nice job by the Vikings finishing it off. It was Miller Davis able to tool that one off the block and get the side out back to Long Beach City College. But the Brahmas right now maintain the 8-4 lead.
A little bit more penetration there for Che. Results in a point there for Long Beach City, so opportunity for them to go on a run here.
Bugs on to serve, and that one into the net. First, well, I don't want to say the first service error. That was the first one into the net. I believe we had one earlier.
Sail long.
Yeah. 9-4. Another quick side out for the Brahmas. They maintain this early lead. We're in set number 1, semifinal number 1, the 3C2A Volleyball Championships on SoCalCollegeSports.com. A little more trouble off the pass again. Davis can't get that one over. And a timeout taken for Long Beach City College. Pierce with the fast start, the 4 seed. Trying to spring the minor upset here in semifinal number 1 on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Jonathan Charette here, Michael, with a necessity maybe to pull some strings early and see if he's going to try and shake things up. You know, it's funny. Obviously, it's very early, but it's only one set. It's only one match here, 3 out of 5, and you really can't afford to wait. Pierce, and that served just long.
Exactly what the doctor ordered for Coach Jonathan Charette.
Grant DeGrasse on the serve. And
calls a timeout. It's a quick side out as the serve goes long.
Well, I think right now for Long Beach City College, the biggest problem is Pierce doing a terrific job in terms of side outs, getting themselves on the attack very quickly and able to get out and get back on serve. Ooh. Back set and another finish. Norkus on the slide.
Jeff, I spoke with Coach Walker Lance earlier in the week. Spoke to him yesterday, in fact, about his middles. He talked about not only how excited he is, but how good they are. They're so good at running something that you don't often see in the men's game. This is more so of a slide offense that we're seeing here. And you have to have, 1, the passing, 2, the setter needs to be able to set it and disguise it. And you have to have quick feet in your middles. And, you know, when you have a Brent Norkus type in the middle, there's a lot of things that you can do up front, and we're seeing it early.
More trouble on the pass. It just reared its head, and now Taitano has that one blocked at the point of attack. But it's Bernardo Ruiz now with a couple of big serves. It's a 13-5 lead. But, you know, Michael, I think the Vikings are just having a lot of difficulty getting into system here in terms of passing these serves. Catches a part of the net. Good pass that time, but it's dug out nicely by DeGrasse. Kessler from a few feet back, and he swings that one wide.
Yeah, he hit a little fat there, trying to put a little downspin on it, but didn't have the angle. Tried to use all of the court, but it sails wide. Man, Long Beach getting smoked early here. They're going to have to make an adjustment.
You know, the first matchup between these two teams at Pierce, it was 3-0 in terms of sets, but it was by a total of 7 points in the 3 sets. So blocked again. Taitano has that one sent back. Norkus getting a little help from Patuoff.
Yeah, you can't hit power into that. You need to be able to tool that block, hit it off of a deflection. Right now, the hands are where they need to be for the Brahmas, and they are rolling along on all cylinders, 14-6.
Mike, I don't think the Vikings have a point on serve here in set number 1 so far. That's an unofficial stat, but I don't recall one. And that's how good the Brahmas have been returning serve. Taitano tries to take a little something off, and that time the block just falls a little wide. Nice job by Taitano making a little bit of the adjustment that I think that you're talking about there.
Well, close quarters here. Maybe he heard me.
Yeah, that's true. We are pretty close to the floor. So the side out gets it back to the Vikings, but it's getting late here in set number 1, and the Vikings going to need something fairly dramatic here. They've been doubled up early. Send it over. A little trouble on the pass, and now the Vikings with an opportunity. That one off the net, the set off the mark. Roeder never had a chance.
Yeah, Morales, the libero, trying to set that. A lot of credit to the service game here today, Jeff. You've already talked about it. The Brahmas really doing a great job of executing what they want to do outside.
Perez to Roeder. That's a bread and butter. It was up the line.
Out.
And he did just miss it, so another point on serve. 16-7 and another timeout taken by Long Beach City College here in set number 1. You're watching the 3C2A Men's Volleyball Championships here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Shocking beginning. Pierce all over Long Beach City College, 16-7. And, I think we were talking about Pierce here before this game and what were they hoping to see. And I think this has to surpass even their best hopes for how this would get started. All the way across to Roeder. Norcus able to keep it alive. Bernardo. And that one's sent over. Dug out, Roeder back on the attack and gets the kill. Wadlow can't keep it alive. So the Vikings get the side out.
Coming up next, it's OCC Irvine Valley, defending state champion, looking to repeat here in 2018.
Porat to serve. Bernardo with the back set and coming from the back row. Petuov.
You got a Russian, you got a Brazilian. The world very well represented here for LA Pierce.
Well, I think this is really interesting here. There's been a little bit of a shake-up for Pierce in terms of what they're doing, and maybe that was a little bit of an anticipation as the chess game between the coaches continues. Another quick side out. Roeder starting to heat up. No chance for Petuov, 17-9. Pierce maintains the commanding lead.
Well, Petuov was there. He needed to direct the ball upwards instead of down.
Meanwhile, Vikings still looking for a server. Here in set number 1, it's Edgar Sanchez on serve now. Off the net, kept alive. Back to the slide. Che leads the Brahmas in kills on the season.
We'll see that one more time here on the replay. Get up, big man. 10-footer.
Boy, that all starts with a terrific pass that set up Bernardo in good position. Then they went to the back set and Rose. And I haven't seen the Brahmas play all season, but that looked like a bread and butter play to me right there, the way that...
we talked about the slide action. And, you and I have been around sports a long time. Some players better off 2 feet jumping than one. Che looks like he can do both, and off of that one leg, you see the explosion, utilizing that slide action on the play. Just put it down with authority.
They'll try the back set. Roeder just has to dink it over. Kessler tools the block. Pearson and Roeder trying to get a handle on that one, but Kessler wins the battle, and Pierce now with a 19-9 lead here in set number 1.
I got to tell you, Jeffrey, a team that came in 20-0, I have a hard time believing that they're 20-0 right now. Looking at the scoreboard and looking at the way Pierce is playing, they are on a mission.
Porat with trouble on the serve, and that has been a familiar refrain here in set number 1 as we get a good look at that serve coming over. And Porat just misjudges that one, it looks like.
It's a fast float. It's 20-9.
And again, they're out of system early as Davis just sends it over.
Set her down.
2-ball sent over. And Bernardo been saving that play, and that's part of being so crafty from that setter position. Haven't seen that one yet. He's just setting them up. And then he delivers right there, sees the open floor, 21-9. That one will float a little long.
Yeah, to follow along with the movie reference, he didn't bring the queen out too early. He did it just right.
A couple of substitutions for the Vikings, and it's getting to the point here, Michael. Obviously, in sports, it ain't over till it's over. But if you're the Vikings, maybe you're already at the point where you're trying to maybe just establish a little momentum for set number 2.
Yeah,
See if you can get yourself untracked here moving forward. They work it in the middle. Che off the block, and it's out of play. Point to the Brahmas at a 22-10 lead.
Man.
Well, in talking about the victory over Fullerton last week for Pierce, a couple of the players, when approached, were quite forthright in saying that they played about as well as they really could hope to play, that they felt it was darn near a perfect outing for them against Fullerton. And I got to tell you, it appears that they've carried it right over here into set number 1.
Yeah, the perfect
here
play
in the
continues
semifinals.
with the exception of that last serve into the net for the Brahmas.
11. Rose looking for Kessler.
Well, right now, Jeff, Bernardo Ruiz is doing an unbelievable job of mixing up his sets. He goes middle, he goes back middle with the slide.
Yep.
He'll go opposite. He's going with the setter dump. It's like a 5-pitch pitcher, and he's utilizing everything, and he has Long Beach City completely off guard.
Pearson able to send that one off the block. The side out comes back.
That's a great tool there by Pearson. Did not have a bit at any type of approach. He just swings into the block off of the high hands for the kill.
Pearson sends it over. Hanging in the air and finishing, Patuov. And it all starts again with another terrific pass of serve, Michael. And, the Brahmas have been outstanding.
Yeah.
And that's obviously, it's no big secret how they've been able to get those quick side outs that they were looking for.
Yeah. They're winning the serve and pass game by a mile.
And now here they arrive, 24-12. They're 1 point away from a dominating set 1 victory, best 3 of 5. Back to Omardian. Bugs, back set, Taitano. Taitano with a little bit of room that time. And
You're not going to win this set if you're Long Beach City, but you need to see a couple of balls hit the deck.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they get on that play. Taitano now back to serve.
Omardian with the pass. And Patuov finishes it off the block, 25-13. The Brahmas emphatically take set number 1. They lead it 1-0. We will return for set number 2 at semifinal number 1, the 3C2A Men's Volleyball Championships, right here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. head to set number 2, and the teams will change ends. The Vikings will move over to the right side in the black jerseys. The Brahmas in the red jerseys will work it from left to right. 25-13. Well, the Brahmas get off the schneid in terms of sets in the third matchup between these two teams, and they do it in a big way. Can they carry on that momentum here into set number 2? Or will the Vikings find a way to stem the tide and get themselves untracked? It has been a house of horrors for the Vikings, who have really struggled en route to a big loss in set number 1. Bugs on serve. Bernardo going to the far side. Wadlow able to send that one off the block. And Pierce with a quick side out. This has been the story so far. Vikings have been unable to get anything going on their own serve. Quick set in the middle, and Pearson, who's been so instrumental in a couple of victories for the Vikings so far this season over the Brahmas, leading the Vikings in kills in both matchups. He's been quiet so far, indeed, as has been the entire Vikings squad thus far, but he gets the kill there, evens it up at 1. A little trouble on the pass. Vikings with an opportunity. Back set. Taitano has that one sent back, but it was just wide. So the Vikings nose out in front for the first time tonight. And we're in set number 2. They have the 2-1 lead with Porat set to serve. Petuov continues to be most efficient. Able to hammer that one down. And it seems safe to say that the movement on that front line for Pierce and the use of slides has the Vikings a little out of sorts defensively. Not a lot of defense there on Petuov. That one quickly sent back. Che in the middle. Able to easily redirect that one into the open floor, and Pierce comes back with a couple of points in a row and a 3-2 lead. When you think back to last year, the Vikings came in after another outstanding regular season. As this one rattles around, and Davis just has to send it over. In the middle, Che with the big windup off the block. 3 in a row for Pierce and a 4-2 lead. Just to finish the point, for those who may not remember, the Vikings came in here after another outstanding season last year and were quickly dispatched in the semifinals 3-0 to El Camino. And just like that, they were heading home with a semifinal loss, and it shows you just how quickly it can happen here. Back set, and Taitano with the finish. That breaks the service run for the Brahmas and brings the Vikings back within 1. Well, certainly Jonathan Charette and the Vikings hoping that history will not repeat itself here in 2018. Again, a little trouble on the pass, but now the Vikings give it right back. Villarreal just whiffed on the one-timer. And the Brahmas catch a bit of a break. They'll take it. They lead 5-3. Wadlow will serve. Morgan Wadlow, freshman outside hitter. And that one sails long. Vikings back within 1. Roeder returning along with Perez. Melby Perez, leader here for the Vikings from the setter position, and didn't see a lot from him in set number 1. That one's going to sail well long, and Perez has had a quiet night so far, and that's symptomatic of the larger problem for the Vikings, it would seem, who just haven't been able to get themselves into any kind of rhythm. You have to give the Brahmas all kinds of credit for that. 6-4 lead. Brahmas on serve. Perez finds Roeder. That one's sent back. Wadlow keeps it alive, and now they can bump it over. DeGrasse sends it over. Back to Roeder. Off the block. It's going to be a net violation on Pierce on the block on that near side. 6-5. Pierce maintains the 1-point lead, but the side out gives it back to the Vikings. Jeriel Apilar set to serve. DeGrasse, and they work it to Kessler. Sent back by the Vikings. Roeder and Porat on the block, and that is one of the first times that we've seen that tonight. The Vikings able to stone the kill attempt. And that ties it at 6. Vikings still looking for a run. Back set, they go back to the slide. This time it's Norkus. Well, we saw Che run that play to near perfection off the set from Bernardo, and that time it's Norkus. So obviously a pet play for the Brahmas. The floater. Roeder has that one blocked. Back to the set. Roeder takes a little something off, but finds the floor. Nope, they're going to say that was a little wide. Okay, so let's correct that. Roeder trying to direct that one up the line, but misses wide, so it's 8-6. Bernardo on serve, and that's a little long. 8-7. Pierce with the 1-point lead. They lead it 1-0. Edgar Sanchez set to serve, and that one long. Well, all of a sudden, a rash of service errors on both sides. Both teams missing long, and you have to wonder, even in set number 2 here with so much on the line, both teams certainly could be forgiven for being a little charged up. Perhaps a little difficulty controlling serve. Omardian. Roeder sends that one just long, tried the corner and missed. So Omardian back to serve. Pierce edges out to a 3-point lead. This is their largest in set number 2. Largest for either team. Here in set number 2. Omardian, knuckleball just long. (10-8) the score. Vikings back on serve. Taitano and Bugs returning. You watch the body language of the players for the Vikings and facial expression, and that one well long from Bugs, and you don't really see any kind of sign of panic or nerves at this point for the Vikings yet. Still seems like a cool confidence of an undefeated team, but they are facing some adversity here. Down a set and down 11-8. Bugs, back row attack from Taitano, and the Brahmas can't find the handle, and it's 11-9. Porat set to serve. Wadlow on the pass. Che tries to take a little something off. Now one times it over. Davis up the line. Bernardo tried for the foot save, as we'll take a look at the replay. This one batted back and forth, and then the Vikings able to go on the attack, and Davis with a little room finishes the job. 11-10. Vikings on a little bit of a run. And just wide. Porat trying to take it up the line. So the Brahmas stop the mini run, get the side out. A little more trouble on the pass. Now Davis has to go from about 5 feet back. Che again tries to take a little something off, and that one's blocked. He's not fooling Pearson or Davis with the little tink. And the Vikings get the side out. A 12-11 lead for Pierce, and Pearson will serve. Wadlow with the finish. All started with another good pass, this one from Omardian. And Wadlow now will serve. 13-11 lead for Pierce. Bugs back sets that one. Boy, that's a sensational effort as Taitano gets the finish, but it was really Bugs who saved that play from the setter spot in the middle. A little trouble handling that serve, and Bugs was able to redirect with the right hand. A terrific one-handed set. Sets up Taitano. Vikings still within one. Taitano catches the tape. Pierce maintains the slight lead at 14-12. DeGrasse will serve for the Brahmas. Again, they'll have to start from well back, and Davis just going to have to bump this one over. Opportunity here for Pierce. Back set. Slide from Norkus, and Taitano can't find the handle. The slide continues to be most effective for the Brahmas. A timeout taken on the floor. Pierce with the 15-12 lead. They're trying to go up 2-0. You're watching the 2018 3C2A Men's Volleyball Championship on SoCalCollegeSports.com. DeGrasse on serve. Brahmas with a 15-12 lead. Taitano from the 10-foot line. The runner from Norkus is dug out. They'll go back to Taitano. Has to take a little something off. Able to play it off the block.
The block.
Like Norkus with a little help from Kessler.
Yeah, the block with Norkus leading the way has been absolutely monstrous for the Brahmas.
And the back row troubles continue, I think, for the Vikings, Michael. And the serving for the Brahmas has been so key.
Yeah, they're executing not only difficult serves, but they're going exactly where they want.
Perez looking for Roeder, and Roeder gets a little too much air under that one.
Western State South MVP off the mark there. Now it's a 5-point lead.
Yeah, 4-point run here for Pierce. And Michael, they could smell it. 17-12. Can they go up 2-0? Villarreal turned away, and Kessler able to finish, going back the other way.
What a great job by Kessler there. He reads the block, knows exactly where it's going to go, and there's two guys there, and he takes the angle and puts it home.
You know, Michael, here's what has to concern you. For one of the rare times tonight, that was a set where the Vikings looked like they did a pretty good job of transitioning and getting themselves on offense, and they were still turned away by a good block and then a quick transition back by Pierce. And how do you like it when you get what you want and you still end up losing the point?
Who's the guy that said better offense is going to trump great defense? Is that Jordan?
I don't know. It sounds like something that he would believe.
18-12, timeout on the floor. We'll do the same back in a moment.
Five-point run on serve for DeGrasse for L.A. Pierce. Grant DeGrasse, the freshman libero. Perez with the back set this time. Davis able to play it off the block.
Better job there using the block to their advantage by Long Beach.
And they need a run on serve, something they haven't had yet tonight. Kessler off the block, but Perez keeps it alive. Roeder from about 5 feet back, blocked but dug out. Porat has that one dug out by DeGrasse. Back row attack. Wadlow is there. Terrific point developing, and the one-timer from Roeder finishes it. Goes on the 2-ball there.
We'll see this here. Roeder plays the second touch there beautifully. Catches the Brahmas off guard, cuts it to a 4-point deficit for Long Beach City.
Well, I think if you're a Vikings fan here and you're hoping, that's another one of those kind of emotional moments that you're hoping might fire up your team. Now Pierce in some trouble right off the serve. Kessler just has to bump it over. Porat tries to go up the line, and he missed it long.
I missed it long, missed the high hands. Good job by Pierce, knowing that Porat really didn't have much of an approach there. They take their hands away, and he goes fat down the line.
Well, Pierce was in a little trouble there, but they dodged a bullet, and they get the side out. Bernardo keeps it alive. They'll go to Petuov off the block, but wide.
Ew. Petuov gets away with one there. He put it where he didn't want to, but luckily it caroms off just wide.
You know, I think it's safe to say that we've been pretty effusive with our praise of the Brahmas, and with good reason. But I think another story there, as Roeder is able to catch the line with that one. But another story here is the Brahmas have caught a few breaks here and really made the most of them. But even when things are getting away from them, they're finding a way. And that's been a key so far as well. And, you know, let's face it, if you're going to win a championship in any sport at any level, that never hurts. A break here or there, it's not going to kill you.
Chance favors the prepared mind. Isn't that how the old saying goes there?
You know I know that. Roeder has that one blocked. Another try, and this time, Porat able to finish it off. And the Vikings may be starting to assert themselves here in set number 2, but they've still got a little bit of an uphill climb.
Well, the Vikings, I mean, they're obviously a rhythm team. They like to play faster. They're starting to play faster. And if they can speed up the tempo here and not have L.A. Pierce dictate at the speed at which they want, they're going to find themselves in a successful situation. Service errors like that, though, not going to help them in it.
And Lance Walker talked pre-game about liberal use of timeouts. That's exactly what he didn't want for the Vikings. Anytime he felt a run was starting, that he planned to use timeouts very liberally here in this matchup to try and maintain that sort of emotional control over the matchup.
Yeah, I haven't seen a bigger run than 3 for Long Beach, and that's just a credit to the level of play here for the Brahmas.
Roeder. Omardian not quite able to keep that one alive. It started with a good pass, and the Vikings quick transition onto offense, and Roeder finishes it off. 21-17. Can the Brahmas continue to do outstanding work on their side outs? Wadlow misfires. Are they going to say it was off the block? They are.
Yeah, there was a touch. It's an overrule up top. Matt, can we get a replay here of the net cam and see if there's a...
See if we can back that up a little bit.
See if we can back it up. Yeah, here we go. We'll see if there's any type of touch up top. Yeah, it looks like there's slight touch there. Can't really slow that down, but...
Back set, Roeder from the back row.
No doubt about that one.
So Roeder having a big set. Another kill, 22-18. But trading points favors the Brahmas. Trying to step out to a 2-0 lead. And another serve floats just long. Service errors continue to be a story. Here in semifinal number 1, both teams struggling to some degree to find the court. Bernardo on serve. They go back to Davis. Kept alive. Roeder behind the 10-foot line. Omardian keeps it alive. Terrific job by Wadlow. Here come the Vikings again. Setter dump. Petuov lays out. Wadlow floats this one just long.
Like the decision there by Wadlow, just goes a little long on the shot.
You know, that's a point that the Vikings win, but you feel like momentum-wise almost favored the Brahmas even more. Just watching the body language at the tail end of that play. Pearson on serve. Wadlow takes a little something off. Again from the back row, Roeder. Wadlow winds up. Porat, this one off the rafters, still alive. On the slide, and it's Che.
He's so good. Replay one, Matty. Jeez, that is. Look at how high up he gets, and you see it. Che just quickly gets there. Right in your face, off the block and down.
Yeah, we haven't called Che's name a whole lot here in set number 2. But maybe that's a little bit by design. He was very fresh on the slide there.
Well, how do you like that if you're Lance Walker? Haven't heard Che's name a lot here in set 2, and it's set point.
Yeah, 24-19. Wadlow will serve. Brahma benches into it. Into the net. Wadlow maybe trying to find the tape there. 24-20.
And Jeff, this is a part of the game here where you have to be able to step on the gas and kick it into high gear. Even though you're up 2-0, you need to stomp out Long Beach City as quick as possible, because if they win a set, this is going 5.
Yeah, you think back to a couple of years ago, and it was a very tight opening set against Golden West, and Golden West got off to a very quick start in that matchup as well. You talked about the adjustments made by Jonathan Charette during that matchup in particular, and yeah, to your point, the more time you give a team like this to get into it, the more likely they're going to find a way. So there's a lot of pressure on both teams here, even with a 2-0 lead, if the Brahmas can indeed finish it off here and get one more point.
In 2016, it was Charles Belvin. I think this year Neil Taitano has played a significant role here in terms of his usage in set 2.
Teams back out on the floor. The Vikings will serve. It'll be Melby Perez.
Noah Taitano, excuse me.
Kessler off the block, and that will do it. A blueprint for what we've seen from start to finish so far. A good pass, quick transition, and Kessler finishes it off. The Brahmas with a 2-0 lead over undefeated Long Beach City College. It's the 2018 Men's Volleyball Championships here in the 3C2A on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
I'm here with Dick Blount, head coach for El Camino College. And Dick, very impressive from L.A. Pierce in sets 1 and 2. What do you expect the adjustment to be here from Long Beach in set 3?
They run an interesting lineup. They started with a different setter in the first match. They switched a little bit in game 2. And I'm not sure which lineup they're going to come out with. They're not passing as well. And to Pierce's credit, they're serving the ball in and making them move their feet.
L.A. Pierce, their block has been tremendous. Can you talk about how effective that's been?
They're getting 2 guys up in their face every time, and it's frustrating the hitters.
You talk about the setter, Bernardo, I believe it's Roez, but we're just going by one name because he's Brazilian. Can you talk about how good he's been in terms of spreading the love?
He's moving the ball around so well. He's getting one-on-ones with his outside hitters, which it's really hard to beat when you're one-on-one. It's really a good combination for him, and he's making good choices.
We talked about it before the match here. Che's been unbelievable with that slide action. That's a tough play to go against, especially considering how well he jumps off one leg.
Well, he got away with 2 tips that he'd rather hit. He should have hit them, but he tipped them, and Long Beach dug them, so I suspect he's told to swing away every time now.
Coach, we appreciate it. Thank you. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Michael, and we thank Dick Blount for stepping in and joining us between sets with his insights on how it's going so far. And the news is a little bit shocking, but Pierce, a 2-0 lead here, 1 set away from dispatching Long Beach City College and dealing them their first loss here of the 2018 season. Can they finish it off? Omardian will start on serve. Another good serve. Davis has to go from the back row. Dug out, and Wadlow goes to work. And that one wide. Wadlow trying to go cross court. Missed it wide, a 1-0 lead, and the Vikings off to the quick start. Roeder on serve. Wadlow with another good pass. He'll come from the back row. Morales unable to find the handle. The teams trade side outs. We're back to a 1-1 tie. Norcus will serve for the Brahmas. And now we're rejoined by Michael Zepeda. Double duty here. You're all over the place.
Trying to catch my breath.
Kessler just wide. Wow.
I don't think we're going to get it on the replay here. Yeah. A miscommunication there, but an overrule here from the near side.
You know it was close. It was a bit of a hesitant call.
Yeah.
Even with the good look, Davis pop flies.
Oh.
Wadlow plays it off the block.
That was beautiful. That's how effective Cole Che has been. You talk about him and his ability to pass from the middle position. He gets that pass up. He allows Bernardo to do some things. That's in on the back line.
Service ace, just the second one tonight for Pierce. To my memory, the Vikings don't have one. Patuov catches the line, and it's a 3-2 lead for the Brahmas. Patuov with another floater. Again, the pass leaves it in the back row. Purat, DeGrasse, Bernardo tries to set or dump. Pierce back on offense, and it's Wadlow.
That's a great step close there from Wadlow. He gets up in a hurry, puts it down off of a block, and now the lead now in favor for L.A. Pierce. Seen a lot of that here today.
They have led pretty much throughout. The Vikings had a brief lead in set number 2, and that's it. And it was early. Patuov sends that one into the net.
Mistimed the jump float there, and Patuov very effective with that serve. You talk about a float serve and how effective that, that's almost more effective than a power jump serve because the ball's moving on you, and then you get a little bit more speed to it with the jump float. That is difficult to handle.
Pearson will serve. Back to the slide, and
Awesome.
Che, I don't think he's been denied on that play so far tonight.
No, that's going to the bread and butter right there, and Che just so effective off of 1 foot. Look at the explosion on that. That's up against a double block. Long Beach knew it was coming, and yet they can't do anything about it.
Well, it doesn't help that Pierce is able to get on offense so quickly. It was another good pass.
Got to turn your hands in
Porat
there.
tools the block. Vikings trail it 5-4. Melby Perez will serve. Kessler with the finish. You know, Michael, I think one other advantage that you see here, and we've talked a little bit about Bernardo Ruiz tonight, and I think that last play was very indicative of it. He's got good size on that front line. That's a pass that could have been trouble.
Yeah.
But Bernardo has the height and a little bit of the leaping ability to get up there and redirect that ball and keep you on offense.
Hey, talk about the leaping ability for Ruiz. Bernardo, he gets up, then it seems like he almost stays up.
Yep.
I wouldn't know what that feels like because I can never do it, but I see it a lot.
Teams trading side out, 6-5. Porat will serve. That one just wide.
And Long Beach still unable to go on any type of run here. Down 2-0, down by 2 in third set.
Davis with a little trouble. And that one going to go well long from Roeder.
Yeah, Roeder hit that one. Going a little bit backwards, reaching back for it, didn't have enough on it to get it down.
Well, I'll tell you what's surprising about this is the third meeting between these two teams, and to see the Vikings really struggling. Nice job by Davis, able to track that one down and at least keep it alive. Now the Brahmas back on the attack. Great adjustment by Roeder in the air. That set was a little bit further back, and Roeder able to just dink it and find open floor, 8-6. But, Michael, just to finish the point, this is not like it's a bunch of servers and a team that you've never seen before. The Vikings have seen this for 6 sets, and yet they continue to really have their struggles getting into their offense to start with by passing these serves.
Yeah, Jeff, I just don't know if they have an answer here. I think you and I would both agree that what's the call here?
Was that net contact? It's hard to say. Ruiz, again, able to do the one-handed set, but the play was waved up.
It was, I think, Pearson into the net there.
Yeah, Pearson with the net contact, 9-6.
Omartian
will serve.
Yep.
Nice job on the replay.
Matthew Henson, our graphics and technical director here tonight. Emery Johnson, Jorge Cepeda. Entire crew here at SoCalCollegeSports.com.
DeGrasse able to dig it out, but it was wide. So Roeder, who's really been the offensive staple here tonight for Long Beach City College. A little help from Taitano, but they've been relying a lot on Roeder for their offense. And they trail it by 2 now, 9-7. Roeder will serve. That one just wide.
Wow.
Well, the service errors have been somewhat of a problem for both teams, but I think as it's gone on, it's the Vikings that have really continued to struggle.
Yeah.
Just giving away some quick side outs by missing on serve. Norcus will serve. Roeder from about 5 feet back, but he's able to play it off of Bernardo.
That's terrific execution there by Long Beach City, able to find Roeder. I mean, he's really been the lone bright spot, if you will, for Long Beach throughout this match. Not a lot of them there for Long Beach, though.
They still trail it by just 2, but they are down to their final strike here, trailing 2-0. Petuov tries to dink. Porat on the far side, but able to play it off the block and wide. So the Vikings get the point. They're within 1.
That went to Pierce. That was a roof job there from Che and Petuov.
So we'll correct that very quickly. 11-8 the score. It's a big turnaround now, a 3-point lead, and Petuov will serve. Bugs, back set, Roeder.
That's a beauty.
You know, Roeder's at about the 10-foot line there. He's really having to make these strikes from pretty well back.
Well, you're in the back row. You can't come past the 10-foot line.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where he started there, but yeah, that one came from the back row. So,
well, it doesn't help that he can jump about 50 inches in the air.
Yeah.
And he ends up at the net after jumping out of the back row.
Another service error. Well, you talk about the importance of getting those quick side outs. It's not going to be a lot quicker than when you can just watch the ball sail a little wide or long and go right back on serve. 12-9. Wadlow. Setter dump from Bugs, one timed over.
Ball's one out.
Shea off the block. Bernardo. They work it back to Kessler. Back and forth point. They'll try Che this time. Porat up the line. Bernardo going back to Kessler. Davis with a nice dig.
Great rally.
Roeder off the block. DeGrasse this time keeps it alive. Kessler. Davis from the back row. DeGrasse lays out again. Che hanging in the air. Unbelievable. Roeder off the net. The Brahmas outlast the Vikings and lead it 13-9.
What a rally.
Point of the night so far.
Yeah, absolutely, Jeff. You got everything there. You got a back row attack, got a couple roll shots there, and eventually the point goes to the Brahmas. Roeder puts it into the twine.
Wadlow on serve. Quick set. Carlos Hernandez, we haven't seen much of him tonight, but he's on. Floating in there and able to play it off the block for the side out.
Coach Charette just looking for a combination that works. He has not found one yet. They trail it by 3 here, down 2-0. Can Long Beach rear back and dig deep.
Kessler has to send it over. Back to Roeder off the block. Sanchez is there. Right back to Roeder.
Roeder might need an IV after the end of set 3 if they make it to set 4.
Well, they are working him so far.
Yeah, they are.
13-11, a point on serve.
I think if you see a point for Long Beach here, we're going to see a timeout for Coach Walker.
Perez will serve. DeGrasse with some trouble. Opportunity for the Vikings, but instead it's Che who gets the one-timer. Porat.
Oh, my.
Had an opportunity, but as he went for the set, he just misfires, sends it back over, and Che does not miss on the one-timer. Here comes DeGrasse to serve now for Pearson. You know, Michael, we talked a little bit about the timing here and a little bit of breaks, and how about that? Again, trouble on the pass, but it turns into a great opportunity for Che on the one-timer.
Yeah, for Long Beach, you just can't have that. You have to pass it back. That's a free ball situation that you send back over and put on a platter for Che, and he gobbled it up.
Roeder has this one sent back and in. Pierce gets the point, 15-11. I want to make the quick point, but we'll get to it when we come back here. Pierce closing in. They lead it 2-0. They lead set number 3 by 4. You're watching the 2018 3C2A Men's Volleyball Championship on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Coming in on the season is Long Beach City, and LA Pierce proceeded to open up a can here in Game 1, semifinal number 1 of 2 here today on SoCalCollegeSports.com. It's the 2018 Men's Volleyball Championships. Jeffrey, a little shock right now.
You and the Vikings, you would have to imagine here, but they have to get it together just that quickly as that one sails wide, 15-12. And the Vikings in search all night of a run, and they're going to need one here. They're running out of time here, trailing at 2-0. Porat will serve. Wadlow able to just keep that alive. Kessler sent back. Roeder with a little help from Hernandez. So the denial on Kessler, and it's 15-13. Vikings back within 2. The Brahmas have come up with a big side out every time they've needed one so far tonight. Here's another opportunity.
You know, I mean, how well have the Brahmas played? Just a few points ago, we were talking about how if the Long Beach had scored on that point, we're probably going to see a timeout from Coach Walker. What happens? Quick run for the Brahmas, back to a 6-point, or back to a 5-point lead rather, and the timeout Long Beach. And now they come out, starting to maybe turn the momentum here. Let's see if they can sustain it. And I wonder what the conversation is. Is somebody out of rotation or?
A yellow card. This will be given on Pierce. I don't know, Michael, if you can tell what the call was. Michael trying to find out. Randy Tutorp, Long Beach City College Athletic Director, is here.
Well, the word from Randy Tutorp is decorum violation. I don't know if that was against a player or the crowd, but yellow card issued to the Brahmas.
Porat, a little trouble. Bernardo tries to keep it alive. Grogan fooled on that one.
And we'll see it here. I mean, that's a tough ball. I mean, that drops in a hurry. That almost looked like a knuckleball, and got a wet spot on the floor, and Pierce will clean it up. DeGrasse gets down on all fours and puts one on there.
Porat ready. The Vikings back within 1. More trouble for Grogan.
Tied up 15-all. Jeff, you talked about Coach Lance Walker likely going to use the timeout here. Is he going to let him play? Didn't he say he was probably going to use the timeout if he smelled any kind of run?
Yeah, that's what he said. Of course, they lead it 2-0 in terms of sets. And you can believe that this one's probably going toward Grogan, and it's back to him, and he sends it over on the pass. So an opportunity for the Vikings. Quick set in the middle, and Hernandez able to redirect off the block. And the Vikings have the lead here for the first time in set number 3. They lead at 16-15. Timeout taken. Lance Walker wants to talk it over. He's going to have to settle his team down. The Vikings on a bit of a run trying to stay alive here in the 3C2A Men's Volleyball Championship on SoCalCollegeSports.com. (16-15), the Vikings with the lead here in set number 3, trying to stay alive here in semifinal number 1, Michael.
Well, Jeffrey, we saw yesterday in the NBA playoffs, Russell Westbrook and Oklahoma City, they're down 24 in the third quarter at home against a team that has been playing lights out. They go on an absolute tear and get back into it, trailing in the series still 3-2 after the win last night, but down 24 in the third, about to go home. They were able to dig deep and come back. Long Beach has a similar uphill battle right now.
A little desperation never hurt. Meanwhile, how nice is it if you're the Brahmas returning to our match here that you can go to a play that has worked over and over again. You saw the slide with Norcus. They were able to get the side out, get themselves back tied at 16, but the service error sends the side out back to the Vikings, who are back in front by 1. But what a luxury for Lance Walker to have, to be able to settle his team down and go right back to a play that so far the Vikings have had no answer for, Michael. Patuov on the pass. That one's going to go off the block. Okay, or a net violation, yeah. So Kessler on the far side. Boy, I'll tell you, Patuov and Kessler have been so efficient tonight on the attack, along with Che and Norcus. It's come from a lot of different guys, but those two in particular, boy, I can hardly recall them being turned away on an attack.
Yeah.
17 all. Omartian will serve. tension building here in set number 3.
Uh-oh.
All kinds of trouble on the serve.
Edgar Sanchez, libero, can't handle that one. And if you're the libero, you can't be what the service game is feasting on. You have to make a good pass. You can't be the target of the opposing team in the service game.
Omartian will serve. Pierce up 1. Back to Sanchez, able to make the pass. They go to Davis. Just has to send that one over. Wadlow from the back row.
Just another great step close there from Wadlow. And back to a 2-point advantage for the Brahmas.
And now it's the Vikings that want to talk it over. 19-17 in set number 3. The 3C2A Men's Volleyball Championship on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Welcome you back to Fullerton College, site of the 2018 3C2A Men's Volleyball Championships, and a 19-17 lead for Pierce over Long Beach City, the heretofore unbeaten Long Beach City College Vikings. But they're in a world of trouble here as Omartian's on serve. Perez, back set, Roeder kept alive by DeGrasse. Back set.
Oh!
Blocked by Pearson and Davis. They went back to Wadlow from the back row, and that time the Vikings were ready. That is a big-time side out for the Vikings when they needed one.
It's a big-time block there. The double gets over. Pearson does a great job of teaming up on that one. They put it to the wood.
Roeder to serve for the Vikings. Wadlow again.
What a great response there from Wadlow. He gets roofed on one ball, comes back to the other side, puts it off the block and away. The Pierce team will not be denied here, Jeffrey.
Another quick side out gets the Brahmas back on serve. Norkus drops it in front of the back row. Porat can't quite get there. Well, I'll tell you, that looked like a split-fingered fastball there from Norkus on serve, because that ball dropped in a hurry.
That's tough, and not only that,
over the net.
You got Norkus with a short serve, you got Shea in the middle. Watch out for the slide.
21-18, the Brahmas now 4 points away.
This is just a little bit of gamesmanship here from Porat, trying to buy a little time, get Norkus off of his game.
Norkus, high arcer. Porat sends that one up. It's a 50-50 ball, and Che wins it.
Yeah.
Boy, Che against Bugs, and that's a big advantage for Pierce on that matchup.
Yeah, that's not 50-50. That's more like 95-5.
50-50 in name only, but Che with the big swing, able to play it off of Bugs in a 22-18 lead, and the Brahmas inching ever closer. Norkus. Another short serve kept alive.
Oh!
Quick attack, and Che.
Che has been lights out. Coach Walker can feel it. Watch this one here. Che absolutely stones Pearson. Hey, top hitting percentage in the state. Forget about it.
Norkus trying to finish it out. Back to Davis, and Davis gets the side out off the block of Che. 23-19, and the Vikings need something dramatic, and right now. Davis will serve. Jump flow, terrific job keeping that one alive by Omartian.
Match point.
Patuov able to play it off the block, and it all starts by Omartian laying out on the serve.
Look at this. Look at that pass, Stoy. You get a single coverage on the other side. Patuov does the rest. Here it comes.
They work it in the middle. Here comes Pierce. Wadlow
That's it.
off the block, and the Brahmas turn it around on the Vikings. They lost the 2 previous matchups, both in straight sets, and they reversed the trend completely here in the semifinals. They advance in straight sets. They are on to the championship Saturday night.
Just an incredible performance of execution and composure from L.A. Pierce. They knew that if Long Beach was able to creep in and get a set off of them after going up 2-0, that might have made the night a lot more difficult. Instead, they step on the gas, 24-13. It was pretty nip and tough as we started the third. But then Long Beach pretty much falls apart, and L.A. Pierce takes advantage and really turns the tide here. What a win.
Yeah, 2 teams that know each other very well, had a lot of experience against each other right here in 2018, and let's give the final word to Lance Walker. When asked about this matchup after advancing here, he said, "Hey, it is not easy to beat the same team 3 times in a row. Could any words have been more prescient than those as the Brahmas advance?" We'll come back, wrap things up here in semifinal number 1. Get you ready for semifinal number 2. Stick around. It's the 2018 3C2A Men's Volleyball Championship here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Just want to give you a quick update. We are going to have a word with head coach Lance Walker of Pierce College after his team pulled the dramatic victory in straight sets over unbeaten Long Beach City College to advance to the championship. Give us a couple of minutes to set that up, but stick around here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. We will have a few words with head coach Lance Walker coming up.
Joined by head coach for L.A. Pierce, Lance Walker. And Lance, what a performance here in semifinal number 1. Undefeated coming in was Long Beach, and you said, who?
I don't know if it was who. We definitely have a lot of respect for those guys. I mean, they're undefeated. We saw them 2 times during the season. We knew we had to make some changes going into this game. We made some changes. We were trying to establish the tempo immediately, which I think we did a good job of. We knew serving and passing was going to be real crucial for us. Hats off to our passers. Hats off to us hitting the serves, hitting the targets that they wanted to. And I think really it came down to our blockers got some really good touches. And the touches turned into transition points, and it was just kind of one of those days where the ball went our way. Now, I don't know if it was alumni watching. Thank you, alumni. I don't know if it was just, it's probably the family as well that came out. But I'm really proud. I'm really proud of all the support, that we've gotten up to this point, and I'm proud of my guys as well. I mean, they're just unbelievable. Like they came in, and of all the years that I've coached at Pierce, this unit is a special unit. These guys have come together like a team. Each one of these guys knows exactly what their role is on the team, and they came out and they mastered their role. We exploited every strength that we had And I wasn't coaching today. I was celebrating today with my guys. I mean, I'm sure you got shots of me just raging, and I'm an emotional coach. And I play with my heart, and today these guys play with their heart too, which was awesome to see.
Yeah, I saw a little Tiger Woods low-key fist pump on the side. I know you were trying to keep it under wraps there. Coach, can you talk about your hitters, particularly your middles, Norcus and Shea? Man, Shea is such a beast up there. We talked about it yesterday. You said, hey, don't let anybody know we're going to go a little slide action. And, man, Shea going off of 1 foot. That's maybe the most power off of 1 foot I've ever seen in person. You don't really see the slide utilized in the men's game. Can you talk about how that was a tool that you went to time and time again with success?
I think the slide is a fantastic play in volleyball, period. I know the women use it a lot in the game, but we have won championships with the slide in the past. And I ran the slide when I was in middle at Pierce, and we called it the West Slide. And it's a great play. It's really difficult for the blocker to follow that slide. And the other thing is, I don't see too many teams that run that, and they haven't run it in a few years. And I think that's a huge advantage that we have. These guys have trained hard to master it, and we knew that if we were going to get a free ball opportunity, that we were going to try to match up our best hitter with one of their weaker blockers, or a blocker that was just not ready for something like that, and it worked, and it was great.
Was talking about it with Coach Dick Blunt from El Camino before the game, talking about Shea and how you guys like to utilize that slide action. And he said one of the reasons why it's not utilized in the men's game is because the jumping difference isn't really all that much in terms of the men's game and verticals from one side to another. That's a different story when you're dealing with the likes of Shea, because he gets up like I have not seen before here in a few years.
Yeah, he's definitely got some boosties on those legs, and we run it with Norcus as well. He ran it a couple times, and Norcus has height. So we have height. We've got we've got explosiveness, and they have a really large hitting window. So I think it's a very confident set for Bernardo to put up there. It's a back set. He can't really see it, and my hat's off to Bernardo. I mean, he just unbelievable. He is our point guard. He has sacrificed so much to come here for a second year, financially, physically. There's competitors and there's toughness, and anybody can come out and compete, but not everybody's tough. And he's got to be one of the toughest Brahmas that's ever come through our program. He's definitely our leader. He's the first guy in the gym, last guy out. I just next year I think Cardinal Stitch is picking him up, and they're going to be real lucky to have a guy like him. I mean, he's just an amazing guy, and we're going to miss him, but we got one more game with him, so I'm really excited about it.
I made the cross-sport analogy with Bernardo Ruiz and his ability to go to everybody, really spread the love. He can go outside, he can go opposite, he can go middle, with touch, with feel, put his teammates in a position to succeed. Not only that, we saw a couple setter dumps that were very effective because everybody else is thinking about everybody else. Can you talk about what kind of a luxury that is as a program and as a coach to have a setter like that at your disposal?
It's amazing. I kind of gave him the same quote that my coach Greg Vernovich gave Bo when we got to the finals. He says, "Hey, this is your game. This is your game. Here's your team. You've got us to this point. There's nothing I can tell you that you don't already know yet." And that's exactly what I told him. I trust in him. I trust in his ability to make decisions for us when things are down. I trust that he can lead the team, and there's a reason why he's our captain. And I'm really proud of him. And he's a great Brahma. And when we're done, he's probably going to be a great friend. And it's just a huge asset for us to have him on our team. And we. He's gotten everybody to raise that level up, and I think a lot of the guys, they know what he has sacrificed to get here, and they want to play well for him. They want this for him as well, and I think it just makes us stick like glue, which is fantastic.
Next matchup, IVC and OCC, the defending state champ. Who do you like? And talk to me a little bit about it.
I think they're both great teams. I don't want to put a favorite on either one of them. I know Matt over at IVC is just a beast. I mean, he's one of the best middles in the league. They're going to score points when he's front row. I think OCC, I think they're a very good team in the sense that, there isn't one or two players that really sticks out, and they run a good system. So a system, is really tough, to beat. And so I think if IVC, if they can score points when, Matt's front row and they can capitalize on +1s, +2s, get some good blocks, that kind of stuff, build those up, trade outside out to OCC, I think awesome. If OCC can, take advantage with Matt's back row and to get some +1s, +2s there, then, I think it's anybody's game. It's the playoffs now. So, I mean, these guys are here for a reason. They are fantastic programs. Tom Pestalacci, he was a coach when I was a player. I have a lot of respect for him. Travis, I have a lot of respect for him. He's just a fantastic coach, and he's been doing amazing things with his program. So, win, lose, or tie right now for either of those guys, I'm really proud of what they've built with their programs, and it'd be an honor to face either one of those guys at this point.
You were a state champion as a player. You set the record in California. Was it 61 kills in the finals back in the day?
No, you might have to Google that now, so we'll have to see what happens. But yeah.
At least you show up on Google.
I now have to use my guys as chess pieces. I can't go out there and do it, and it's a different game as a coach, as a player. But I'm still out there. I told Teddy, I said, I'm gonna try to sit down today. As soon as that first play hit, I was off the bench, and I couldn't sit back down. I mean, it's just I love coaching these guys. I love watching these guys. They're fantastic.
Playing in unison, coaching in unison. Coach, I wouldn't say that you're coming in as a 4 seed. This is no Cinderella story. I got to believe that whoever wins out of semifinal number 2 is going to have their hands full with the Brahmas.
Yeah, we're really excited. There's going to be a lot of work, I think, tonight. A little bit of a sleepless night, I think, for us. I also have to recognize my assistant coach. Teddy has been an unbelievable assistant for me for the last 2 years. In the program, it says I got Coach of the Year, but actually he got Coach of the Year as the assistant coach. And he has sat in classes with my guys to make sure they pass their classes. He's tutored them. He has done an unbelievable job of scouting, of doing everything that he could to get us to this moment. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. And I really appreciate that too. So I have to give my hats off to him. And I'm happy we get to do it one more time, Mike. So we get to do it one more time.
We'll see you on Saturday. Congratulations. Thanks for your time, Coach. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Mike. Thanks, man.
The Brahmas back in the playoffs for the first time since 2013 and making the most of it with a sweep of Long Beach City College, the top seed, coming into the playoffs here in 2018. They are done, and Pierce moves on to Saturday night and the championship against the winner of our next matchup between Orange Coast College and Irvine Valley College. That'll get going in about a half hour. Let's talk through very quickly what's going to happen for those who have not joined us before. We're going to stop the broadcast here of the first semifinal. You can rejoin us on the player that you can find on our website at SoCalCollegeSports.com, and also by searching SoCal College Sports 1 on YouTube and locating our channel there. Good job, Maddie, bringing that up. So there's where you can find the game. You can also find a link to it on the 3C2A site as well. But YouTube, SoCal College Sports 1, or at our website, SoCalCollegeSports.com. We'll step aside and rejoin you here in a little bit for semifinal number 2. So please join us for that. It's been an exciting night so far, and it promises to get even better here with IVC and OCC coming up, 2 top teams as well with a spot in the finals on the line. For everybody here at SoCalCollegeSports.com, I'm Jeff Stoynoff. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you in a little bit here coming up. Get you ready for semifinal number 2. So long.